I lied, you know. I mean, you had to. You couldn't tell them that you were homosexual, otherwise you wouldn't be, you know, included. If you're persecuted, for the most part, you don't want to persecute others. You want to be more understanding. My name is Jean-Nickolaus Tretter, born in St. Gabriel's Hospital, September 9th, 1946, in Little Falls, Minnesota. All my brothers, and including my sister, had all been in the military, you know, and so it was a logical thing for me to do. I was a linguist for the military. My primary function was to intercept and record Russian space shots. In those days, during the Vietnam War, which was my wartime, you had to be careful. They used to threaten us all the time that if we find out you're homosexual, you're going to go to Leavenworth, and you know the Marine Guards will beat up on you because you're a homosexual. And there was what we used to call the gay hero syndrome, because if you went to war and got killed, nobody would ever find out that you were actually gay. And you would still be a hero to your family, and your picture would be sitting on the grand piano next to Uncle Joe's. Then, of course, I was a linguist, so I had a top secret cryptographic code word security clearance with presidential access. I had been sent to Hawaii because a Russian space capsule was going to pass overhead. They came to me and they said, your mission has been canceled. They'll never be able to send you the coordinates and everything to make sure that you're on the right frequencies and the antenna pointed in the right place at the right time. And I said, can I go ahead and try? And they said, oh, sure. You know, that was just a big laugh, like, yeah, like he isn't going to do it. So what I did is I took all the previous data that I had from when the capsules had gone over Hawaii, and a lot of it was my own data, and with a little bit of monkeying, I intercepted them, got a real good program, and they were just flabbergasted. They gave me a special commendation for doing that, which then when I got out of the service, they promptly destroyed because it was top secret classified information. So they took it out of my record and destroyed the letter of commendation. You know, that's welcome to the military. I went to the chaplain on base, who happened to be a Lutheran, so that fit right in with me, and I knew that was good, and everything like that, and told him, you know, that I was gay, and what should I do? And he said, well, you have to tell the commanding officer and that, because he said, you can't be gay and be in the military because you won't be able to do it. I was just mad because he was telling me I couldn't do it. I'd already done it for like 2-3 years when I got to him, and he was telling me I couldn't do it. And it was like, don't tell me that. We've been told no about everything all our lives. No, you can't run for public office, you can't become a politician, you can't do this, can't do that, and we're always proving them wrong. After I got out of the service, I tried to go to school. I wanted to get a degree in social and cultural anthropology, and I wanted specifically to study gay and lesbian society and culture. And of course, the university would have none of it. In those days, you could still be arrested in Minneapolis for carrying gay and lesbian literature. On the 50th anniversary of the burning of the Hirschfeld Library, I suggested to the Pride Committee that I was a member of that we do an exhibit on gay and lesbian history. As I tried to put things together, I found that most of it was being destroyed. We'd have a leaflet for an event or something like that, and when it was all done, people would just throw it away. Or if somebody did keep it, when they died, their parents would go in and say, oh, all this horrible gay and lesbian stuff, and they'd throw it away. And if we were going to save our history at all, we had to start collecting it ourselves. So I started putting together my own collection of books and reference materials and things like that. The apartment was very crowded. I had enough room to use a sleeping bag in front of the TV set in the living room, and that was about it. The rest of it was boxes, floor to ceiling. A gentleman by the name of Stephen Shockett gave $500,000 to the University of Minnesota to start a gay and lesbian studies program. They said, gee whiz, we can't really have a studies department if there's nothing for them to study. You know, we need an archive and a book collection of our own that people can use. They were quite impressed, and they decided that they would love to accept the collection. They eventually came back to me and said, do you suppose you could come and work with us because you know the collection and you can help people out, and we don't have anybody that knows the collection well enough to be able to help the students and teachers and professors. So all of a sudden I became the only non-degreed employee of the University of Minnesota, which, you know, is a factory for degrees. Once I moved it to the university, I always knew that, you know, at some point in time, I'm not going to be here anymore, and it's going to change. I know it's called the Tretter Collection, but that's not important. What we want to see is we want to see it to continue to grow and to encompass the entire gay and lesbian community without forgetting the initial gay and lesbian community that was here first. I don't think any of us, Steve, Alan Spear, me, any of our friends, comrades, we never expected to get equal rights within our lifetimes, much less acceptance in the military, you know, and right to marry and all those sorts of things that we have now. Those were something that were dreams.